Welcome to my channel Daily Bulletin News. Leo closes in on Lady Whistleblower, and Jada gets a shock when she confronts EJ over Rafe. On today's Days of Our Lives, Javi stops Gabby from grabbing the breakfast he made for him and Carrie, who walks in and plants a kiss on him. Gabby introduces herself saying Javi never stops talking about the famous Carrie. They tease each other over sleepovers when Javi grabs the money clip JJ left behind when he spent the night. She leaves and Javi and Carrie sit down to breakfast, saying they had a great time, even if they're taking it slow and didn't, you know. Javi gets a text saying Lady Whistleblower posted a new column ripping Leo in body and soul apart, which Carrie finds amusing. Javi defends the show and Carrie defends loving the show and hating what's happening to it. Carrie gets dressed in an I Heart Rochester shirt, which he unsubtly shows off, then asks for more gossip from Lady Whistleblower. Javi doesn't want to because it's mean. Then Carrie admits he doesn't like Javi being friends with Leo. Javi reassures him that Leo isn't a threat, he's with Carrie. Carrie, in turn, plants a passionate kiss on Javi to show him who's got chemistry. Carrie starts to strip, but Javi reminds him they're taking it slow. He doesn't want to rush into things after what happened with Leo. He cares about Carrie, but gets it if it isn't what he wants. Carrie agrees to move at Javi's pace, then heads off to work. He leaves behind his Rochester sweatshirt, telling Javi to wear it. Leo shows up over at Abe and Paulina's as they're eating breakfast to give them an update on Faith's exit story, and bringing Charlemagne back from the dead. Abe's response? Absolutely not. He tries dismissing Leo, who tells him her resurrection scene is already written, then lays out his plan for bringing her back with maximum dramatic effect. Abe and Paulina listen in disbelief, peppering him with questions over the implausibility. They then get into how problematic Hattie is, but Leo says the fault lies with Lady Whistleblower. He then starts complaining about how the column is ruining his life and his plans for the show and made him trash all his plans. Abe breaks in to say he got a lead on Lady Whistleblower. Stephanie found out the checks are being wired to Rochester, New York. Leo plans a trip for Rafe to find out the identity, but Abe informs him Body and Soul doesn't have the money for that. That's when Paulina offers to pay, both to help Abe and keep Rafe out of Jada's business. Leo heads out to talk to Rafe after begging Abe to say yes to Hattie. Abe agrees to at least run it past Kate. Sean greets JJ at the PCPD, welcoming him back to the force and as his partner. JJ says he's sorry about Sean's marriage, then learns that they'll be working with Belle as the new DA. Gabby stops by to give JJ his money clip back, then they start teasing each other about whether he left it on purpose or not. After some flirting, she breaks out the wedding plan Javi made up for Rafe and Jada and shows JJ. The wedding is in 2 weeks. Sean pops in to let Gabby know Jada isn't there to give it to her. Jada stares at Rafe's message telling her not to worry, then calls him as she notes she is worried about him. She leaves a message saying she'd really like to hear his voice. She summons Sean saying she can't reach Rafe and she can feel something is off. Sean suggests she call Steve to find out since he's on a black patch case. She calls, finds out Rafe was never sent on a case and walks through what happened on New Year's. She suddenly recalls EJ being the one who mentioned the call sending Rafe on a case. EJ hears Rafe's phone ringing and hangs up just before Arnold exits the secret passage. EJ nearly has a heart attack thinking he's Rafe, then demands to know what Arnold is doing there. He needed to get out of the hotel before he lost his mind. EJ flips out. You're bored? That's why you came out of hiding? He's got enough on his plate figuring out what to do with Rafe. Arnold doesn't feel like playing along, going back to the motel or Argentina. He wants to stay in the mansion. EJ tells him no way, they don't need people thinking he's Rafe. Arnold suggests that could be a good thing. He could throw Jada off the scent until EJ decides what to do with Rafe. The doorbell rings, and a panicked EJ tells Arnold to get out, so he sends the fraud down to feed Rafe, quietly. EJ runs off to the door, opening it to a ticked Jada. She barges in, telling EJ Steve never sent Rafe on a case. He claims he just heard Rafe take the call, but she doesn't believe him. In the show's final moments, Gabby wants to know where Jada went, but Sean just says on some case. Shay leaves the wedding book with JJ, as they coyly promise each other they'll see each other later. Sean notes JJ and Gabby are a thing after she leaves, and JJ asks why Sean didn't want to go into details with Gabby about Jada. Because it's about her brother. She went to talk to EJ about him. Abe calls Kate about Hattie's return. She's not happy, so he asks to table it for now. But he's got good news about Lady Whistleblower. Leo shows up at the Hernandez home, telling Javi he needs to see Rafe. Stay tuned and subscribe the channel.